Hello, writers. Welcome to this week's Writer's Tool Shed. We have our 5 new words that we're going to learn today. You may know these words already, you probably do, but we're going over them so that you can practice using them, mastering them as tools that will work for you when you're creating a piece of writing. So let's start with our example story. The cave walls were covered in slime. Homer groaned and brooded on the one tiny mistake that had plunged him into this mess. He hadn't meant to press the button, he really hadn't. A crinkling sound echoed off the walls of the cave. Homer peered into the gloom. It's nothing, he said, pretending to be indifferent, but his face flushed and his heart began to race. He took nimble steps forward. On 10-foot legs, a monstrous spider emerged from the back of the cave. Homer bolted. Slime is a noun, a thick, sticky, slippery substance, usually disgusting. I'm sure you guys have all made slime before or played with slime. What kinds of things are often covered in slime? Sometimes you think of a frog, that the frog's skin is covered in slime. Or if you go to a place with muddy rocks, you can think of the rocks and the algae over them, and you usually don't want to touch things that are slimy because it feels gross. Gloom, a dark or dim place, often related to negative feelings. So this is not like the friendly darkness where you feel safe or nice. A place that is the gloom would feel scary or ominous because you have this sense that, oh no, something is coming. Either something is hiding in there, or if it's clouds that are bringing the gloom, then you feel like there could be a storm coming. So, what kinds of things could be hiding in the gloom? There could be a monster, there could be lightning that's going to come out, there could just be somebody who's going to jump at you. Plunge, to dive or go into something with force or speed. So this person here is going to plunge their hand into the sack of grain and maybe take some, or maybe just feel the textures of all of the different lentils. What do people tend to plunge themselves into? Or maybe their hands, or maybe their feet. You could plunge your hand into any kind of substance. You could plunge your feet into the water, plunge your feet into your boots. You could plunge yourself into a situation. Like Janine was really scared to go to the party, but she plunged in and took the chance. Next one is nimble, moving quickly and skillfully. In this picture here, you see this person's fingers have done this cat's cradle masterpiece where they were somehow able to make something that looks like a Christmas tree. You need really nimble fingers to be able to move and then keep hold of the threads to create something like that. And if you do have nimble fingers, what kinds of things might you be able to do well? You might be able to do cat's cradle. You might be able to carve really intricate shapes. You might be able to put the clothes on small dolls or take them off if you have nimble fingers. Or you might be really good at pickpocketing if you can go and reach into somebody's pocket and take something out without them noticing. Last one, indifferent, having no preference or being unaffected. Shrug, I don't care. What kinds of things do you feel indifferent towards? Like maybe you feel indifferent towards watermelon. Yeah, I could have watermelon, or I don't need to. Either way, it doesn't really matter. Maybe you feel indifferent towards piano. Yeah, I guess practicing piano is okay, but also I don't need to. That would be indifferent. Let's close things out with our example story one more time. The cave walls were covered in slime. Homer groaned and brooded on the one tiny mistake that had plunged him into this mess. He hadn't meant to press the button, he really hadn't. A crinkling sound echoed off the walls of the cave. Homer peered into the gloom. It's nothing, he said, pretending to be indifferent, but his face flushed and his heart began to race. He took nimble steps forward. On 10-foot legs, a monstrous spider emerged from the back of the cave. Homer bolted.